Hey everyone, Mike here. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I'm here to prove them wrong. A few months ago, I picked up something I've wanted to do for years, learning to play the guitar. And let me tell you, it's been quite the ride. I'm not aiming to be the next Eric Clapton or Jimmy Page, but I've found that diving into something new at this stage of life has been both challenging and rewarding. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through why I decided to start, the struggles I faced, and I'm going to give you some tips if you're thinking about picking up a new skill yourself. So let's go. Let's grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive into this journey of picking up new skills later in life. Now, it's probably no surprise, but I've always loved music growing up. It was more than just a hobby. It was an obsession. I had over 2,000 record albums stacked inside of these record album crates in my room, covering everything from classic rock to blues to jazz and even some deep cut progressive stuff that no one else seemed to appreciate but me. Anytime I was alone, which let's be honest, was a lot, you'd find me in my bedroom with the turntable spinning, completely lost in the music. Now, whether it was the soaring solos of Pink Floyd, the raw energy of Led Zeppelin, or the intricate riffs of Rush, I was there air guitaring my heart out, dreaming of the day that I could play along for real. But I wasn't just a passive listener. I went to every concert that rolled through town. Doesn't matter if it was a massive stadium show or a small club gig, I was there, soaking up every note, every riff, every drum beat. Live music just had this electric energy that fueled my love for it even more. And with every concert, I'd walk away inspired, thinking, hey man, one day I'm going to do that. But as it often does, life got busy. Work, family responsibilities, they all took precedence. That dream of playing guitar, well, unfortunately, it got put on the back burner and then slowly faded into the background, as things like this tend to do. The records collected dust, the concert tickets became memories, and I convinced myself that maybe it just wasn't one of those things that was meant to be. Then one day it hit me. Why not now? After moving to Las Vegas, I realized that something was missing. I needed some sort of creative outlet, something that wasn't about work. It wasn't about technology. It wasn't about deadlines or responsibilities. Something that was just for me. Now, at first, I tried drawing, thinking it could be a fun and relaxing way to express myself. But let's just say progress was slow. Painfully slow. I'm not an artist. Every time I put my Apple Pen to the iPad, I felt more frustrated than fulfilled. It just wasn't clicking for me. But then, 2 Christmases ago, my wife Toria surprised me with an acoustic guitar. That moment, it was like a spark, reigniting an old flame. Holding that guitar in my hands, it brought back a flood of memories. Those late nights spent listening to records, dreaming of playing along, and the excitement I used to feel about music. Wow. Toria's gift wasn't just a thoughtful gesture, it was a reminder of a passion I had buried for far too long. So of course I had my doubts. Picking up the guitar again after all these years, I wasn't sure how long it would take to get back into it, or if I'd even have the patience to push through the struggles. But something inside me told me that it was time to try, to stop making excuses, and to finally do something for myself. So I made a decision. This time I was going to stick with it. And thus my journey began. And let me tell you, it's been one of the best decisions I've made. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. Relearning guitar later in life, it isn't exactly a walk in the park. There are definitely some hurdles, and they hit harder than I expected. The thing is, I'm not starting from scratch. I actually played guitar for about 7 years before life, work, family, and all the obligations forced me to put that thing down. Now, I thought that muscle memory would kick back in and I'd pick right up where I left off. So funny. But reality had other plans. My fingers, which were once nimble and strong, had weakened over the years, and arthritis didn't exactly make things easier. Even forming basic chords that I used to breeze through now felt awkward and honestly, a little painful at times. Now let's talk about the mental side of things. When I was younger, I would just dive in and figure things out along the way. But now, I can't help but overanalyze everything. If you know me, you know. I catch myself thinking, am I holding the pick correctly? Why does this sound off? Or even worse, am I too old for this? That constant overthinking actually became a roadblock. There were techniques I just couldn't learn because I was just too caught up in getting every little detail perfect. And of course, that's a recipe for never actually progressing. Perfection can be an enemy. But here's the thing, persistence, it pays off. I made a commitment to practice an hour a day, no matter what. Some days are great, others not so much. But every session, whether it's nailing a chord progression or just building up strength in my hands, it reminds me that progress is happening. Little by little, I'm getting better. And those small victories, those are what keep me going. So far, I've not only managed to conquer the basics, chords, strumming patterns, and even timing, but I've actually surpassed the skill level that I had when I first played years ago. In fact, I think that I've done better this time around just because of my maturity. Now, it's been an incredible feeling to see myself progress beyond where I left off, playing more complex riffs and techniques that once felt out of reach. I've learned to play songs from some of my all-time favorite bands, Green Day, Metallica, Lit, Led Zeppelin, plenty of others. Whether it's nailing the power chords in a Green Day track or tackling the intricate picking in some of Metallica's classics, each new song, it feels like a personal milestone, proving to myself that I can still improve and take on new challenges even at this age. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned, though, along the way is that consistency, it beats intensity every time. While I try to practice for an hour daily, I've realized that even just picking up the guitar for 15 minutes can work wonders. So don't stress about it. These short sessions add up, and before you know it, progress starts to feel natural. And you know what? Progress is addicting. The first time I hit a clean chord change or smoothly transition through an entire song, it feels like I'm hitting the jackpot. Each little win fuels my motivation to keep going, reminding me that learning, it's a lifelong journey. Technology, man, has it changed the game when it comes to learning guitar. And it's made my journey so much smoother than it was years ago. I was blown away by the technology. Back in the day, I had to rely on guitar magazines, books, rewinding cassette tapes or CDs over and over again to figure out parts of a song. But these days, now, I've got tools like Ultimate Guitar, which lets me slow down songs to a pace where I can actually learn them properly. This is something that would have saved me hours of frustration back in the day. Then there are the apps like Fender Play and YouTube tutorials. These things have been lifesavers. There's a lesson for everything, whether it's breaking down a tricky solo or just learning how to strum more efficiently. The ability to access world-class instruction at the click of a button has been invaluable in keeping me on track. Of course, having the right gear, it makes all the difference in the world. I've gone from a single beginner-friendly acoustic guitar to now owning 3 electrics, a Les Paul, a Strat, and a Harley Benton. Now each one has its own unique feel and sound, and it's been fun exploring what each can do. I even treated myself to a tube amp for my 59th birthday, and let me tell you, there's nothing quite like that warm, rich sound that a good tube amp can make. to make you feel like a rock star in your own office. Having access to all these resources and gear, it really helped me stay motivated and excited to keep learning. You know, it's never been easier to pick up and play. Just hasn't. Now, if you've been thinking about picking up a new skill, I don't know, maybe it's guitar, painting, or even learning a new language, let me give you some advice. It's never too late. Research even shows that adults who stay mentally and physically active by learning new skills, less likely to develop certain diseases, including cognitive decline and heart-related conditions. So what are you waiting for? You know, in a way, picking up the guitar isn't just a fun hobby, it's an investment in my health and well-being. The biggest thing, though, it's just to start. The first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, you'll realize how rewarding the journey can be. Don't worry about being perfect. Just enjoy the process and let yourself be a beginner. Progress, it might be slow at first, but with consistency, you'll surprise yourself with what you can achieve. I'm serious here. And trust me, the sense of accomplishment you'll feel, it's worth every bit of struggle. You know, for me, whether it's finally nailing that chord progression or simply sticking to a new routine, every single victory builds confidence and it reminds me that growth is possible at any age. So you're probably wondering what's next for me. Well, I've got my eyes set on mastering a few songs that have always meant a lot to me. But more importantly, I'm focusing on improving my rhythm, really locking in my timing and making sure I can stay in the pocket when I play. You know, timing is everything in music, so it's something I'm working hard to refine. I'm also pushing myself to be more proficient in picking through chords while transitioning between them smoothly. Something I struggle with. It's one thing to strum basic chords, but adding fluid picking into the mix, it takes things to an entire new level. It's been challenging, but I know that like everything else along this journey, with patience and practice, I'm going to get there. But here's the big one. This one's huge. I'm actually planning to start a Green Day tribute band called Silver Day. The twist? Every single member will be over 60. It's something I've been dreaming about, and honestly, I think it's the perfect way to combine my love for music with a bit of fun and camaraderie. Who says you can't rock out at any age? I'm also looking to explore different styles. Maybe dive deeper into blues, perhaps some finger-picking techniques. And who knows? Perform in front of a live audience at some point. The journey's just getting started, and I'm so excited to see where it takes me. So there you have it, folks. My journey so far in relearning guitar later in life. It's been challenging, humbling, and sometimes even frustrating. But ultimately, it's been one of the most rewarding things I've done for myself. Picking up the guitar again, it's reminded me that growth, it doesn't have an expiration date, folks. So, if you've ever thought about picking up or re-picking up a skill that you once loved, I say go for it. Whether it's music, art, or something completely different, it's never too late. And the truth is, learning new skills after 60 isn't just about having fun. It's also about keeping your mind and body sharp, improving coordination, and tackling health issues head on in the best way possible by staying active and engaged. So let me know in the comments, what's a skill you've always wanted to learn or get back into? I'd love to hear about your journey. We're in this together, folks. And hey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around for more of my adventures here on Strings of Life. And hey, if you're looking for more motivation, check out the next video on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.